Good afternoon, all of you. Hope you all are doing good. May God bless you all. Welcome to Commerce class. This is our third class. In the last two classes, what we studied journal, and yesterday we have started ledger also. Journal is the first step in accounting cycle. Ledger is the second step in accounting cycle or accounting process. And for your syllabus, as I told you, we have only personal ledgers. That is ledger of either customer or supplier of the business. Okay, so it will be there in the name of some person. So we prepare personal ledger by applying the rule of, what is the rule of personal account? What is the rule of personal account? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. We apply that rule. Okay. So now, as I told you, hope you all are ready with your textbooks, academy textbooks. We are going to take one problem from textbook and solve it. That is page number 64 of your textbook. Page number 65. Question number 10. Prepare Pawan account from the following. Okay. So we'll do this problem. Prepare Pawan account from the following transaction. What is the format of ledger I told you yesterday? A ledger is divided into two parts. Here we write the name of the ledger. What we are preparing? We are preparing Pawan account. So we write the name of the ledger in the middle. The left hand side is debit side. Right hand side is credit side. Okay. This is the date column, particulars column, JF amount. Okay. Similarly, date, particulars, JF amount. Remember, format is very, very important. Unless you are familiar with the format, you will not be able to solve the problem. So what is this? Date. This is particulars. JF. I'll remind you, when we do journal, no, we write LS, that is ledger folio. And when we are doing ledger, we write JF, that is journal folio. Folio is a page. Date, particulars, JF amount. Okay. So, as I said, we are preparing personal ledger. We apply the rule of personal ledger, that is debit the receiver, credit the giver. Now, when we are preparing Pawan account, if Pawan is receiving something, debit him. If Pawan is receiving something, write it on the debit side here. And if Pawan is giving something, write it on the credit side here. Very simple. Okay. So as I told you, page number 65, question number 10. Prepare Pawan account. 2018 March 1. Goods purchased from Pawan. We as a business purchase, I as a business purchase goods from Pawan. So goods are going away from Pawan. In this transaction, Pawan is the giver. Giver is to be credited as per the rule of personal ledger, isn't it? What was the date? 2018 March 1. By purchases. By purchases. Sir, why did you write it on the credit side? Because I said purchase goods from Pawan. We are buying from Pawan. So goods are going away from Pawan. Pawan is the giver in this transaction. A giver has to be credited. So I am crediting Pawan. And what is the amount? It is 38,000. In ledger, every transaction, every entry on the credits would start with the word buy, and every entry on the debit would start with the word to. Remember this. Okay. So what is the next one? Next one is cash paid to Pawan. On 6th, cash paid to Pawan. Cash paid to Pawan. Pawan is receiving here. Receiver is to be debited. So this has to be written on the debit side. To cash. On 6th, the amount is 5,000. Hope you all are following. When we are preparing Pawan account, if Pawan is receiving, write it on the debit side. If Pawan is giving, write it on the credit side. Okay. What is the next transaction? It is goods returned to Pawan. We have returned goods to Pawan. We have returned goods to Pawan. So Pawan is receiving. So what we'll write here? We write earlier we had purchased, no? हम लोग पहले purchase किए थे March 1st के दिन हम लोग purchase किए थे. Now we are returning. We are returning on 10. So we'll write it as to purchase returns. To purchase returns account. And what is the amount? Amount is 1,500. Amount is 1,500. Isn't it? Then paid to Pawan by check. We are paying to Pawan by check. Pawan is receiving, isn't it? Pawan is receiving a check. So it again has to be written on the debit side. The date is 14. To bank. Whenever check is there, whenever any payment is made through check or UPI or any online payment is there, what is affected? Bank account will be affected. So we'll write to bank. And what is the amount of check? It is 6,800. So I'll write 6,800. Okay. Then what is the next transaction you see? The next transaction is discount allowed by Pawan. Okay. Here, discount is a nominal account. Discount is a nominal account. Pawan is allowing discount. So for Pawan, it is an expense. Okay. For Pawan, it is an expense. So again, as per nominal, what is the rule? Debit all expenses. So I said, I'll elaborate this transaction. It could be like this. We paid some amount to Pawan and Pawan allowed us discount. Isn't it? Like we paid check 6,800 Pawan to bank and he's allowing us discount. Okay. So it will be taken again on the debit side. As I told you, discount is a nominal account. How much? What is the amount given? You see, it is 500. It is 20th. Then next one is 26 goods purchased from Pawan for cash. Very important to note this. Purchase goods from Pawan for cash. Yesterday I told you when we are preparing personal ledgers, we will not take cash purchases. We will not take cash sales. Why? See, when we are purchasing goods and paying cash, the general entry would be purchases account debit to cash account. In this transaction or in this entry, do we say the name of Pawan? We don't. Because when cash is paid, we don't write the name of the party. So whenever there is cash purchase or cash sale, we will not take this transaction when we are preparing Pawan account or any personal ledger. We don't take cash purchases or cash sales. Okay. Then next one is furniture purchased from Pawan. Furniture purchased from Pawan. We have purchased furniture from Pawan. So Pawan is the giver here. So write it on the credit side. Buy furniture. What is the amount? Amount is 8,000. Amount is 8,000. Just go through this, please. Now comes the balancing part, which is very, very important. How do we balance it? I told you yesterday, whenever we are about to start balancing, we should first see which side is heavy. On the debit side, we have 5, 6 12, 13,000, 14,000, some figures. But on the credit side, we have 38,000 and 8,000. So obviously, the credit side is heavy. So I'll write it on the credit side. I'll write credit side 46,000. Okay, 46,000. The same amount we have to write here also. 46,000 we have to write here also. And now we have to do balance. How do we do balancing? See, what is the credit side total? Credit side total is 46,000. What is the debit side total? Debit side total is 5 plus 1 plus 6. 6, 5. 12, 5. 13,800. 13,800. So if you deduct, you'll get 200. 32,200 is the balancing figure. Okay. Shall I tell once again? See, while balancing, what do we do is, we first see which side is heavy. In our case, credit side is heavy. Credit side total is 46,000. So we should write that 46,000 on the credit side, and the same we should write on the debit side also. And then we should do the total of debit. The total of debit here we have arrived at 13,800. From the credit side total, deduct debit side total. We arrived at the balancing figure, that is 32,200. That we will write here as to balance carried down 32,200. When do we do the balancing? At the end of the month. What is the month we are doing? March. So on 31st March, we balance the account. So what is our closing figure? Balancing figure is 32,200, isn't it? Now, the same balance had to be brought forward for the next month, right? Now see, in this case, which side is heavy? Credit side is heavy, right? So we say that Pawan account is showing credit balance. Pawan account is showing credit balance. See, I'll tell you, what do we say? If debit side is heavy, if debit side is heavy, it is said that ledger account is showing डेबिट बैलेंस. डेबिट साइड हैवी है तो वो अकाउंट कौन सा बैलेंस बता रहा? वो डेबिट बैलेंस बता. एंड सिमिलरली इफ क्रेडिट साइड इज हैवी वी से दैट द लेडजर अकाउंट इज शोइंग क्रेडिट बैलेंस. ओके, इफ डेबिट साइड इज हैवी डेबिट बैलेंस, if credit side is heavy credit balance. In our ledger, which side is heavy? Credit side is heavy. So Pawan account is showing credit balance. So on the first day of next month, we should take on the credit side as by balance brought down 32,200. Here, remember, see, while closing, I wrote credit carried down, and opening I am writing brought down. This is very important. When we close the account, we write carried down, which happens on the last day of the month. And when we bring it down to the next subsequent month, first date, we write brought down. Closing happens on the last day of the month. Opening happens on the first day of the month. Closing, we use the word carried down. Opening, we use the word brought down. Is it clear, all of you? Okay. Shall we move forward? We'll go to next question. Page number 66, question number 11. Prepare Sudha account. Prepare Sudha account. So, in this case, our party is, our customer or supplier is who? It is Sudha. So we are preparing Sudha account. Remember, always write the name of the ledger in the middle top. Left hand side is debit side. Right hand side is credit side. What are the columns? Four columns. Date, particulars, JF, amount. The same on the credit side. Date, particulars, JF, amount. Okay. So be ready. Preparing Sudha account. Sudha account is a personal account. The rule what we follow is debit the receiver, credit the giver. In this case, if Sudha is receiving, write it on the debit side of her account. If Sudha is giving, write it on the credit side of her account. Okay. So what is the first transaction you see? Amount due from Sudha, 8,000. Now, this is again very important. Most of the time we'll give this opening entry. Opening entry. How the sentence should be, yesterday I told you a brief on this. It will be either given as amount due to Sudha. Suppose it is like this. Amount due to Sudha. It means we as a business have to pay to Sudha. Sudha will be our creditor in this case. Sudha will be our creditor. And creditor shows credit balance. So this we have to take on the credit side as by balance brought down. Okay. Suppose it is given as amount due from Sudha. There are these two possibilities only, either amount due to Sudha or amount due from Sudha. Now, we as a business have to receive amount from Sudha. So Sudha is our debtor. Sudha owes amount to our business. So Sudha is our debtor. Debtor will show debit balance. So this will be taken on the debit side as to balance brought down. Right? Or there is one short, this thing you can apply. If you don't understand this debit and credit, you can take a short this thing. If it is given as amount due to, no, write it on the buy side. Buy is credit side. To is given, write it on the buy side. To, buy side. From is given, write it on the to side. You remember this? Due to is given. To is given, write it on the buy side. Buy side is credit side. From is given, write it on the to side. Okay. So let us see how will it works. Where is the ledger? Yeah. Okay. So in this case, what is the question given? Amount due from Sudha is given. Amount due from Sudha. So as I told you, if it is from, then she is our debtor. It should be taken on the debit side. To balance brought down. To balance brought down. What is the date given in the question? It is February 1, 2018. And the amount is 8,000. Hope this is understood, all of you. Amount due to, amount due from. The next one is goods sold to Sudha. We are selling goods to Sudha. So Sudha is receiving. Receiver is to be debited. Write it on the debit side. To sales. How much? 11,000. To sales, 11,000. That is on 4. Next transaction is 12. Goods returned by Sudha. Goods returned by Sudha. Sudha is returning goods. So goods are going away from Sudha. If they are going away, write it on the credit side as sales return. See, she earlier purchased from us, no? On 4th, she purchased from us, and on 12th, she returned the goods. So goods are going away from Sudha. Write it on the credit side. And the amount is 4,000. Okay, next is cash received from Sudha. We, as a business, received cash from Sudha. So Sudha is the giver in this case. Cash is going away from Sudha. How much it is? 3,000. On 16, Sudha paid cash to us. We received. So by cash, $3,000. Okay. Next is return check, received check from Sudha. Okay. This was what? Cash received from Sudha. Now we received a check from Sudha. Right? On 22nd, we received a check from Sudha for 6,000. Again, in this case, check is going away from Sudha. She is the giver. So her account is to be credited by bank. How much? On 22nd, amount is 6,000. Go through this, please. This 5 transactions would fetch you 5 marks. Sure question. Okay. Then on 28, Sudha's account is settled with 10% discount. Again, these calculations are little important. While balancing, I told you what you should do. For balancing, what you should do, see which side is heavy. 8 plus 11, 19. 4 plus 3 plus this, 13. Debit side is heavy. So we'll take the total of debit side, 19,000. 19,000. Okay. There is discount factor also here, which I'll explain here on this thing. Achha, what is the credit side total you see? It is 13,000. Okay. What is the debit side total? We have seen the debit side total was 19. Debit side total कितना है? 19,000. और credit side कितना है? 13,000. 19 minus 13 is 6,000. So this is the amount either due to or due from. This is the balancing figure. But what we have an additional component, discount 10%. Okay. Now remember, take a note of this. Whenever a discount is given, discount is always calculated on balancing figure. Discount is always calculated on balancing figure. In this case, what is the balancing figure? 6,000. What is the rate of discount? 10%. 6,000, 10% would be 600. So from this, we have to deduct discount also. We have to deduct discount. So I'm deducting it. So what is the net amount, final amount due? This is the amount, final amount. Okay. And these two figures will appear in our ledger on the deficit side. Okay. 600 discount and the net amount due will appear on the deficit side. So 600 and 5,400. Which side is deficit? Credit side is deficit. On 28, balancing is done. So I'll write here by discount. We have calculated just now, no? How much? 600. That I'll write. And the account is settled. It means payment is made or payment is received. No balancing figure. So we'll write by bank or by cash you can write. 5,400. Account is settled. There is no balance. Like in the previous problem, we had this balancing figure, no? We had this balancing figure, you see. In the first problem we did Pawan account, we had balancing figure because in that case it was not given, no? Account settled, it was not given. It means the balance is carried forward. But in our problem, what we are doing here, it is very clearly mentioned that the account is settled. So when the account is settled, it means whoever owes the amount, either we or Sudha, we make the payment. Either we receive or make the payment and the account is closed. No balancing. Okay. Go through once. Okay. Let us take question number 12. Let us take question number 12. Prepare Swami's account from the following. Guys, hope you all are following this. Again, I repeat, this is a sure short 5 marks question. It will appear without fail every time. Okay. So now we are going to the next question. That is Swami's account. Okay. So how would we prepare the ledger? The format is Swami's account. Date, particulars, JF, amount. Date, particulars, JF, amount. Right? Ready? So we are preparing Swami's account. Swami account is a personal ledger. We apply the rule of personal ledger, that is debit the receiver, credit the giver. If Swami is receiving something, write it on the debit side. If Swami is giving something, write it on the credit side. Okay, chalo. See what is the first transaction? January 20, 2018, January 2, amount due to Swami. Amount due to Swami. What did I tell you here? When it is given as amount due to, it will appear on the credit side as by. Amount due to. If it is to, it will appear on the by side. By balance brought down. 2018, January 2nd. And what is the amount given? The amount is 12,000. The next transaction is 8th of January, goods purchased from Swami, 16,000. We have purchased goods from Swami. So goods are going away from Swami. Swami is the giver. Giver is to be credited. So it will appear on the credit side by purchases. By purchases. What is the amount? 16,000. Okay. Then goods returned to Swami. We have returned goods to Swami on 15. We purchased on 8 and on 15th we are returning goods. So it will come on the debit side because when we return the goods, Swami is the receiver. To purchase returns account. To purchase returns account, amount is 5,000. Right? Next, cash paid to Swami. On 20th, the transaction says cash paid to Swami. Now, in this transaction, Swami is the receiver. Swami is receiving cash. So, whenever the person receives, I said debit him. So, write to cash. How much? To cash 20th, 16,000. Is it clear? Then 24th, goods purchased from Swami. Again, on 20th, we purchase goods from Swami. So Swami is the giver. Goods are going away from Swami. So write by purchases. What is the amount given? 9,000. We are done with the transaction. 5 transactions will fetch you 5 marks. And the account is settled on 30th at 10% discount. Now this is very important. Okay, after posting the entries on debit and credit, this is very crucial here, balancing. See which side is heavy? Debit side we have 21,000. Credit side we have 28 plus 9, 37,000. So which side is heavy? Obviously it is the credit side. This side is heavy. Credit side is heavy. So Swami account is showing what balance? We say credit balance. Okay, what do we say? We say Swami's account is showing credit balance. Okay, balancing I'll do here only. How do we do balancing? We take the heavy side. Which side is heavy? Credit side is heavy. What is the total on credit side? It is 12 plus 16, 28 plus 9. It is 37,000. The same will write here also. 37,000. 37,000. From this, deduct the debit side total. What is the debit side total? It is 21,000. So we deduct 21,000. 37 minus 21 is 16,000. What do we call this? I said this is called as balancing figure. Okay, and 10% discount is given. No, discount is always calculated on balancing figure. So let us calculate discount and see what is the balancing figure we got here. It is 16,000. 16,000, 10% would be how much? It would be 1,600. So this discount is to be deducted from balancing figure. So deduct 1,600. You'll arrive at 14,400. This is discount. This is the amount due. Right? This is the amount due. Now we have to write these two entries in our ledger. What two? One is the discount amount and another is the net amount. Where do we write these two? We write on the deficit side. कौन से जगह बैलेंस कम था, टोटल कम था, डेबिट साइड कम था. तो ये दोनों चीजें हम लोग मंथ के एंडिंग में कब किया बैलेंसिंग? व्हाट इज गिवन इन द क्वेश्चन? बैलेंसिंग इज डन ऑन 38. So on 38 we'll write first, we'll write two discount. How much? 1,600. And two bank. The final amount paid 14,400. This is how we close the account. See, when it is said that settlement is done, it means there is no further balance. No buy balance brought down, to balance brought down. No. Account is settled means payment is made or payment is received. Okay. And balancing, whichever side is deficit, we'll write it on the, either if it is debit, we write it on the debit side, or if it is credit, we write on the credit side. Okay. What is this? This is 14,400. Is it clear? Hope you all are following. Shall we go to the next one? The next question is prepare machinery account from the following. We will skip this. We'll not do this because if you remember, I told you as per our this thing, IP expected question is only personal ledgers. Swami account, Sudha account, Veena account, Vamshi account, only personal ledgers will be given. Whereas machinery account is a real account. He will not give real account. He'll give only personal account. So I am going to question number, even 14th we will not do. We'll go to question number 15. We are taking up question number 15. Sir, why are we not doing 14th? Because 14th also has multiple ledgers. We have to prepare different ledgers there. We'll not get that. We'll get only personal ledger. So I'm taking question number 15. So shall I start? Yeah. Let us draw the format. In the format, we first write the name of the ledger. The question is, it is Praveen account. Okay, it is Praveen account. From the following information, prepare Praveen account as on 31st March 2014. What is the left hand side called as? Sir, it is called as debit. What is the right hand side? Sir, it is credit. What are the columns? Sir, we have date column, we have particulars column. Sir, then we write JF column, where J stands for journal, and then we take amount column. Similarly, on the credit side, we take date, we take particulars, we take journal folio, and also we take amount. Format is ready. Let us hit the bullseye now. So I'm starting with the first transaction. The transaction says balance due from Praveen. So standard, no? Every time, either it will be amount due to or it will be amount due from. This is our shortcut, no? If it is to, write it on the credit side. If it is from, write it on the debit side. So in this case, it is amount due from Praveen. So I'll take it on which side? Yeah, debit side. I'll take it on the debit side as to balance brought down. How much is the amount given? It is 3,500. And the date is March 7, 2018. Amount is 3,500. Date is 2018, March 1. Okay. It should be March 1. He gave 7. So, okay, not an issue. I'll take 7. March 7. Understood this concept of amount due to, amount due from? No. If it is due to, write it on the credit side as by balance brought down. If it is due from, write it on the debit side as to balance brought down. Let us go to the next entry. Sold goods to Praveen. We as a business sold goods to Praveen. Praveen is the receiver. Receiver is to be debited. So take it on the debit side. To sales. To sales. How much is the amount? 1,500. Amount is 1,500. Right? Next transaction is purchase goods from Praveen. We are purchasing from Praveen. So goods are going away from Praveen. Praveen is the giver. So buy purchase. Buy purchase. How much? 1,000 rupees. By purchase account, 1,000 rupees. Next is paid cash to Praveen on 15th. Cash paid to Praveen. So Praveen is receiver. Receiver is to be debited to cash on 10. What is the amount? 800. Amount given is 800. Then on 23rd, received cash from Praveen. We are receiving cash from Praveen. So Praveen is the giver. Giver is to be credited, no? So write it on the credit side, buy cash. How much amount is he giving? He is giving 500 on 23rd. On 23rd, he gave 500. Hope you all are following, right? Then, what is the last transaction? Returned goods to Praveen. 25th, we return goods to Praveen. So Praveen is receiving. These are the returns, right? We purchased earlier. Now we are returning. So that would be written as to purchase returns. He is the receiver, no? It should appear on the debit side. To purchase returns. What is the amount? 200. What is the date? 25th. Amount is 200. Posting is done. Now we have to do balancing. We have to settle the account. As I said, whenever we settle the account gets closed. There will not be any balance. To balance brought down, by balance brought down, nothing will be there. Account gets closed. How would we do balancing? We see which side is heavy. Tell me which side is heavy? Which side is heavy? Yeah, debit side is heavy. What is the total on the debit side? What is the total on the debit side? 5,000, 6,000. Isn't it? Write the same amount on the credit side also. 6,000. Okay. Then let us balance it. Debit side is heavy in this case. In the last problem, credit side was heavy. Here debit side is heavy. If Praveen account is showing debit balance heavy, we say that Praveen account is showing debit balance. Okay. Opening balance will be on the debit side. That is Praveen is the debtor. Okay. So debit side we had 6,000. From this, deduct the credit amount. Credit amount are how much? 1,500. So what is the balancing figure? 4,500. This is the balancing figure. Remember guys, discount is always calculated on the balancing figure. How much discount? 10%. What is the balancing figure? 4,500. So how much would the discount amount be? Discount is equal to 4,500 into 10 by 100. That is 450. This discount we have to deduct from the balancing figure. 450 we have to deduct. इसमें से हमको माइनस करना है. 4,500 में से हम 450 अगर माइनस करेंगे तो नेट अमाउंट ड्यू जो है वो आएगा 4,050 रुपीज. Now we have to capture these two entries in our ledger. We have to capture discount amount and balancing, the amount due amount in our ledger. Which side do we take? Yeah, we take it on the deficit side. किस side amount कम था total का? Total हमारा कम था credit side. तो जिधर कम रहेगा उधर ही हम लोग balancing figure डाल देंगे, उधर ही हम लोग discount को डाल देंगे. When do we do this? Normally we do at the end of the month. That is 31st March. First we will write by discount. It is 450 rupees. And then we settle the account. We write by bank or by cash also. You can write if you want. You can write by cash also. Not an issue. 4050 and the account is settled. Isn't it simple? So simple. Easily you can earn 5 marks. आराम से 5 marks pocket में आ जाते हैं हमारे. Okay, that's good. चलो. Okay. I'm taking up one more question. This would be the last question of this session. And in fact, this would be the last question from this topic, I would say. We did around 5 problems. And I hope you understood it. Okay. So I'm taking the next question, which is question number 16, page number 68. Prepare Vamshi's account from the following. Prepare Vamshi account from the following. So we'll prepare the ledger format first. Vamshi account. Date, particulars, JF, amount. Date, particulars, JF, amount. Ready with the format? So, balance due to Vamshi. Again, to, from, आ गया ये फिर से. Amount due to रहे तो हम कहाँ लिखेंगे? हम लोग credit side लिखेंगे as by balance brought down. So I'll take it on the credit side as by balance brought down. How much? What is the amount? Amount is 4,400. 4,400. What is the date? Date is August 1, 2018. Next, purchase goods from Vamshi. Purchase goods from Vamshi. We are purchasing from Vamshi. So Vamshi is the giver. Giver is to be credited. So write it on the credit side. By purchases. How much? What is the amount given? Amount given is 1,500. Amount given is 1,500. Then we have sold goods to Vamshi. On 10th, we sold goods to Vamshi. So Vamshi is the receiver. How much amount? 1,200. Okay. Then received check from Vamshi. We received a check from Vamshi. So Vamshi is the giver. Giver is to be credited. Write it on the credit side. By bank account. What is the amount given? The amount given is 1,000. Next, paid cash to Vamshi. We are paying cash to Vamshi. So Vamshi is the receiver. Write it on the debit side. To cash, amount is 100 rupees. Next, Vamshi returned goods. Vamshi returned goods. Vamshi returned. So goods are going away from Vamshi. So we should write by sales return. Earlier he purchased from us here, no? Now he are returning. When? On 23rd, he returned goods worth rupees 200. He returned goods worth rupees 200. And the last entry is purchase goods from Vamshi. We have purchased from Vamshi. So Vamshi is the giver. Write it on the credit side. By purchase account. How much? It is 500. Amount is 500. Postings are done. Now balancing is left. We will balance it. Okay. What is the rate of discount? 5% discount is given. Right. Now while balancing, what do? We first see which side is heavy. Which side is heavy here? In this case, credit side is heavy. In this case, credit side is heavy. What is the total of credit side? 44596971 7,600. See if I'm right. 59697176. Write the same amount on debit side also. 7,600. Okay. Now let us do the balancing. What is the credit side total? In this case, credit side is heavy. In last problem, we had our debit side heavy. So credit side total is 7,600. And what is the debit side? It is 1,300. So deduct it 6,300. 6,300 is the balancing figure. As I told you, discount is always calculated on balancing figure. So discount is equal to 6,300 into 5 by 100. That would be 315 rupees. So deduct 315 rupees, discount from here, you will get 5,985. You remember, this is a final amount due and this is a discount. Both this will be recorded on the deficit side. Which side is deficit? In this case, it is debit side, that is deficit. On 31st August, we'll write 2 discount 315 and then 2 bank, or you can write 2 cash also, 5,985. This is how the problem is solved. We are done. We are done. So here I am concluding the session. Okay, take care. Good day. We'll meet again tomorrow. Okay, with a new topic. God bless you all. Bye.